Another thing right off the top here is this. Speaking of spectacular action and visual effects galore, Hobbs and Shaw is on its way and is coming out. And, of course, a lot of people are excited about it. But how about this?
Never heard of it.
It doesn't get released until August 2nd. And it just blew away everybody else when it came to marketing spending this past week. When this movie doesn't even come out until August. And it just outspent everybody, which tells us a few things. Well, let's take a look at the spending list from this week. Okay, so Hobbs and Shaw was the #1 film spending for its marketing this week. It spent $10.4 million just this week alone. In marketing buys. How to Train Your Dragon 3, which is coming up here pretty soon, spent $7.1 million. Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame both spent $5.2. Of course, the lion's share of that money came from their Super Bowl spots. But still, not coming out to August. We're seeing Universal getting a big jump on their marketing spend, on their ad presence. Robert, I look at this and I think Universal believes that this spin-off can pull off main franchise box office numbers. This is telling me that Universal believes Hobbs and Shaw. I'm thinking if they make $650, $700 million, that's a huge win. They should totally celebrate, and that's a big win. This is telling me that maybe Universal has their sights set a little higher. This is telling me Universal thinks this thing could draw as much as the main franchise and join that billion-dollar club. Number one, what do you think Universal's approach is when you see these types of spending numbers? But then number two, do you think Hobbs and Shaw could actually join that billion-dollar club?
Well, without making jokes,
right.
To look at the film as part of the Fast and Furious franchise, clearly they are all in because that trailer, I can talk about verisimilitude and how I felt about that trailer. That trailer was crowd-pleasing, to say the least. You do know
there hasn't been any...
no, of course not. That trailer was bananas. I mean, even I have to admit, when I see a helicopter gunship firing into a building, as it strafes a building sideways, I'm like, okay.
And we were just talking about Blue Thunder the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about Blue Thunder. I'm looking at this. Anytime helicopters wreck shop on a building, I love it. And I'm looking at this going, man, urban violence, like urban destruction in movies, not in real life.
Yeah,
I understand. But there's something visceral since Blue Thunder when their jet fighters are trying to shoot down a helicopter in downtown LA and they miss. Missiles go into, office buildings. I love that. There's something primal because you're a kid, you blow stuff up. It looks like Hobbs and Shaw blows some stuff up really, really well. And I think that if it delivers, and if you look at the numbers for Jumanji, you look at a lot of, Dwayne Johnson has, Rampage might have been a misstep, but it was kind of goofy.
No, it wasn't. Rampage made a bunch of, it was that skyscraper one he did. That was a bit of a misstep.
But but even that, people are like, oh, it's Die Hard in a building, that old joke. Die Hard in a building. But it was, I think this movie, it could do $1 billion.
I'll tell you what,
I think it can.
The response to the trailer has been really great. I did love that moment, and I thought it spoke a lot about the relationship when they are standing at the edge of the building and they're about to jump on the cables. All right, on 3, 1, 2, and just the one.
It was look. It's got a lot of fun stuff in it. I do hope that Universal carves out some of the marketing budget, so they could perhaps make a Han and Giselle prequel movie.
And nobody will go see it. Absolutely no one. You know why? Because everybody's glad he's dead.
Everybody's going to go see a movie with Wonder Woman and Han, let me tell you.
Now I can't get True Lies out of my head.
That's another great example.
I was just thinking about when they're on the airplane and he's saving the
Harrier jump jet.
Yeah, hell yeah.
My all-time favorite action film, still to this day, is True Lies.
Still not on Blu-ray.
Still not on Blu-ray. Incredible. All right, guys, listen.